And do-it-yourselfers. Today we're going to talk about taking off the front passenger side fender of a 2007 Audi A4 B7 model. I think it's pretty similar for most. It's really very simple procedure. It's not a big deal, and might save you a little bit of money to get your own fender, or you can get something else. Make this work. First thing that you got to do is take off the front tire so that you can get inside the wheel well, the plastic. If it's just a base model, or it's going to be felt if it's an S-line. Just take a hook prong and put it inside and pull it out. It's 17mm bolts that you're going to want to take off. All you're going to do now is crack them and then put it up in the air so that you can get the tire up in the air so that you can take it off. Make sure when you're doing anything up in the air that you use stands. Protect yourself at all times, keep yourself safe. Next thing you're going to have to do is get a T20 Torx and undo the bolts that are inside holding this plastic fender well in, and that'll expose some bolts on the inside and help you with the fender. When you're taking out the bolts, they're all pretty easy to see, but there's one that's hidden right up in the middle, right here, just it would almost run perpendicular to the edge of the router. So get that one especially, and then you're going to just take out this plastic, kind of pulls out. Comes right out. Then you're going to want to put the wheel back on so that you can lower your jack, because there's bolts underneath here, underneath this base part, that you're going to need to have access to. Underneath along the bottom are more Torx screws, same size. You got to remove those. There's a whole bunch of them. They come out really easy. But there are a ton of them. Inside this wheel well, there are screws that hold in a little plastic plate. And what this plate does is it protects the bolts that are holding the fender into the frame. It's just a simple little piece of plastic. It's not hard to remove. Just got to take the bolts out from it. And they are the same Torx sizes again. Held on with the two screws, the lower one and one in the middle. Next you want to get the bolts that hold the bumper up front here and two under here. They're T30s. You're going to have to take the bumper off, obviously. Lots of good videos on that on YouTube. This attaches to the radiator support. Inside the door on the upper part there's a bolt, an Allen bolt. It's a number 5 that holds the fender on. And then down here, down low right there in the middle, there's another 20T, a Torx T20 that needs to be removed so that you can pull down the last little bit of the cowling. Okay, next on the inside of the door frame, you're going to have to pull up some trim that's in here. It just pops out. You don't have to take it all the way out or anything like that, because all you're trying to do is loosen off the Torx screws that are in here. You just need to take back 2 or 3 or 4 of the screws. so that you can pull the plastic down. Next, you're going to want to reach around behind, just kind of pop out this plastic. You've already loosened all the bolts, so it'll come down pretty easy. Inside this lower part of trim, there are 3 big Phillips screws. Those have to come out. Those Phillips screws, they need to come out. Those have to come out so that you can get at the T30 Torx, which are holding the fender on. On the inside of the fender, just below the light, there's 2 bolts, 2 Torx bolts that need to come out. Right here there's a little push pin. Just squeeze it, push it back in a bit so that you can pop out this connector. Now across the top of the fender there are 1, 2, 3, and 4 bolts across the top. Once you take those out, the fender is pretty much ready to take off. Now before you go and just pull the fender off, don't forget about this light right here. Okay? Don't forget about this light right here. You don't want to yank that off, it's still connected. So just take your time and it pulls off the bottom. And there you have it. 1 fender removed.